I've got my Week 1 Fantasy Baseball breakdown, and that report is coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Beat the Odds, your source for expert fantasy baseball insights all season long. Opening day is in full view, and I've got 10 players that are available in at least 40% of Yahoo leagues that you should pick up ahead of this upcoming week. If you're a fan of this type of content, I'd encourage you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell. Now, I know that your time is valuable, so my commitment to you is to keep these videos under 5 minutes throughout the season. And to prove that I'm serious, here is my 5-minute countdown. Now, before I get started with the list, I want to thank my community for casting 147 total votes, which helped me create this week's list. Did you miss your chance to vote? Keep an eye out for new polls coming out later this week. Now, let's jump right into this list with 5 pitches to target, starting with number 5, Jesus Luzardo. Jesus Lizard is back and in a prominent spot in the Phillies' rotation to boot. After seeing his fastball velo drop to 95 miles per hour last season, reports are that it's back up to 97, which is where it was during Luzardo's 22-23 fantasy-friendly campaigns. He should be more valuable now that he's pitching for a team destined to win more. Let's go to number 4. We have Spencer Arrighetti. There's a lot to like about Arrighetti's projections ahead of the 2025 season. He's making the necessary pitching adjustments, adding a 2-seam fastball to righties to complement his 4-seamer that opponents slugged .516 against. He's been a bit wild in spring, and he's going to have to tame that in order to level up a tier in the pitching ranks. Let's go to number 3. We have Chris Martin. Now, I would like to introduce you to the Rangers' new closer. After being a trusted reliever for 9 seasons, the 38-year-old will handle the 9th at Arlington. Martin featured a league-average fastball and an effective cutter that rides in on lefties. His value comes in the fact that he limits base runners by mixing his pitches around the plate. I'm in on 20 saves this year. To number 2 we go. We have AJ Puk. In terms of pure stuff, Puk is by far the best reliever in Arizona. Manager Torey Lovullo might be onto that too, as he has recently announced that the closer situation is open. That should give Puk a good amount of closing opportunities to start the season, and if he runs away with the job, he could easily become a top 10 closer by season's end. And at number 1, we have Gavin Williams. The Guardians pitching staff has a history of getting maximum results out of its pitchers. Looks like Williams is the team's next reclamation project. He is working on a new delivery where he is standing taller on his back leg, which has helped him gain more control of his breaking pitches. He could emerge as the best pitcher on the staff this year. Let's move on to 5 hitters to pick up, starting with number 5, Brandon Lowe. Most fantasy managers are already aware of the risks behind rostering Lowe. In 7 seasons, he has played in at least 110 games only once. If your league has IL spots, you should pick him up, since you're going to want to start him whenever he makes a start at home this season. Yahoo has also granted him eligibility at both first and second, increasing his value. To number 4 we go. We have Christian Encarnacion Strand. We saw CES's power briefly during his 2023 cameo, putting 13 baseballs over the fence in 222 at-bats. Spencer Steer is rehabbing his bulky shoulder, and he could miss some time or at least DH to start the season, giving CES further opportunity to make a splash to begin the year. If he gets off to a hot start, he's a lock for 30 homers, but he wouldn't be on the waiver wire for long. To number 3 we go. We have Rhys Hoskins. At a shallow position, you could do far worse than having Hoskins rostered on your squad. After all, he posted a combined 820 OPS in the 2 seasons prior to his knee surgery, and now 1 season removed from that, you may see a bounce back in his ability to get his way on base. A full season equates to 30 homers, coupled with solid production and a low batting average. To number 2 we go. We got Matt Shaw. Shaw was high on my draft list to start the season, as he was a 20-30 hitter in the minors last year. Of course, when the first lineup projections saw him batting 8th to start the season, it reminded me that there are going to be bumps in the road. Then the Cubs hit him 5th in Japan. If he sticks in the middle of the lineup, he could win Rookie of the Year. And finally, at number 1, we have Jonathan India. India's value to fantasy managers isn't just the fact that he's going to be leading off for the Royals and hitting in front of Bobby Witt Jr. He also walked in 12.6% of his at-bats last season, pushing his OBP to a very respectable 357. He will score 100 runs if he sticks in the leadoff spot, and Witt has another monster season at the plate. And that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video, and of course subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'm going to sign off for now, but I will catch you guys on the next episode.